Welcome to this explainer. We're diving straight into some absolutely wild extraterrestrial lore today. We're going to objectively map out the fascinating and frankly mind-bending world-building found in Ryuho Okawa's book, Messengers from Outer Space. This text constructs a highly specific alternative history of Earth, one where literally everything is shaped by alien visitations. Whether you're a hardcore sci-fi fan, a student of modern mythology, or just someone who loves a truly complex narrative, you're going to want to strap in because the universe mapped out in these pages is intricately detailed.
Okay, let's just jump right in with one of the most striking claims stamped directly on the book's cover. It boldly states, "Cats were animals from space." Yep, you heard that right. The core premise we're unpacking today is the idea that the purring, napping little felines we know and love actually have deep interstellar origins. I mean, it's a massive paradigm shift from how we normally look at our pets, right? And the book actually builds an entire cosmic architecture to support this exact claim. To really wrap our heads around this, we have to look at the source material itself. The cover of Messengers from Outer Space promises shocking messages that overturn human history, and it absolutely delivers on that front by detailing a huge array of alien species that have supposedly influenced our world. It essentially treats Earth less like a solitary rock floating in space and way more like this grand cosmic melting pot for extraterrestrial refugees in galactic guardians. Now, before we zero in on the felines, we really need to establish the broader lore just to understand the sheer scale we're dealing with here. And this perfectly illustrates the wild diversity of this universe. According to the text, Earth has been visited by Jupiterians, these brave protectors wielding giant fangs, some of whom supposedly reincarnated as patriots during Japan's Meiji Restoration. Then we've got time-traveling Alpha Centaurians, which the book actually claims proves the whole concept behind Planet of the Apes is real. We also have Vega aliens, who flew UFOs to the lost Mu continent to save Earth, and Cancer aliens, who are these highly intelligent messengers that reincarnated as brilliant human minds, like the physicist Dr. Sakharov. So yeah, it is an incredibly dense, packed universe.
Which brings us right to Chapter 5, the cat-type alien of Zeta Star.
What's really fascinating here is the stark juxtaposition. According to the text, these original alien beings aren't your typical ankle-rubbing house pets. Far from it. The source describes them as massive beings standing roughly 3 meters. That's almost 10 feet tall. No way, right? Plus, the book explicitly states that they possess human-like emotions and have the intelligence to utilize a vocabulary of around 300 words. So we're talking about giant, highly emotional, communicative feline entities here.
So where exactly do these 10-foot-tall beings come from? Well, the book maps their extraterrestrial origins way out beyond our immediate solar system, all the way to the Magellanic Clouds. Specifically, they hail from a location referred to as the Zeta Star. And within the lore of this text, the Zeta Star is simply, and kind of affectionately, known as the Cat Star, the original interstellar homeland of this entire species. But life on the Cat Star wasn't exactly a paradise. The text lays out a surprisingly dark chronological narrative for them. Phase 1 of their existence was pretty grim. They were originally raised as food, literally livestock, and pets for a dominant race of reptilians living on the Zeta Star. Phase 2 marks a massive turning point, where they somehow managed to escape this subjugation, fleeing their homeworld on a spaceship destined for Earth. And finally, in Phase 3, they arrive on our planet, forced to adapt to a completely new existence, finally safe from their reptilian oppressors.
Now, the absolutely crucial point here is their profound depth as a species. They weren't just fleeing victims. The book claims that during this incredibly long interstellar escape, these 3-meter-tall beings revealed a deeply cultured literary side. They were apparently incredibly adept at writing poetry aboard their spaceship. I mean, just picture that for a second. Giant, highly emotional feline refugees composing literature among the stars as they journey toward our solar system. It just adds this fascinating, almost melancholic layer of culture to their lore.
Next up is the cycle of reincarnation, from Zeta to human.
So once these poetic refugees successfully navigate to Earth, the text outlines a really specific biological and spiritual adaptation process. They don't just step off the ship and wander around as 10-foot-tall aliens. Instead, the book introduces a rigid, fascinating cycle of reincarnation. Let's break down how this actually works. Step 1 is their original form, the giant Zeta Starcat alien. Step 2 is their earthly transition. To adapt to Earth's spiritual and physical environment, these beings first reincarnate as the everyday Earth cats, and interestingly sometimes dogs, that we keep in our homes. But wait, that's not the end. Step 3 is the final stage of their cycle. After living as our pets, they are eventually reborn as human beings.
This evolutionary cycle is basically the master key to understanding the book's claims. If we look back at the cover text asserting that these animals harbor human-like emotions and a 300-word vocabulary, it suddenly makes perfect sense within the context of this lore. The text insists they possess these traits because they are quite literally in the spiritual pipeline to become human. Their emotional depth is a direct remnant of their cultured alien past, and it serves as the essential preparation for their future as humans.
But you gotta wonder why Earth? And why live amongst us in this highly specific way? Well, ultimately, Chapter 5 states that these beings didn't just come here to hide out. The primary mission of these poetic, reincarnating beings, after enduring that dark history with the Reptilians, the long spaceship journey, and their cycle of rebirth, is entirely benevolent. Their ultimate purpose on Earth is to heal mankind. They are literally here to provide comfort, solace, and emotional healing to humanity.
This leaves us with a truly fascinating, if highly unorthodox, lens through which to view our daily lives and our companions. It's world-building on a deeply personal scale. Based on the lore we've mapped out today, it begs an amazing question. The next time your quiet house cat curls up next to you to offer a little moment of comfort, is it just animal instinct? Or, as this text suggests, are they successfully executing an ancient interstellar mission of healing, brought all the way from the Zeta star? It's definitely something to think about the next time you hear a purr. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring.